Hello guys, this is old guy Will again. Have another topic for you this evening that we want to talk about. But before we start, I would like to ask you if you just kind of subscribe and share and put your comments at the bottom of this segment. If you have any other topics you'd like to talk about later on, then we will discuss those. But I already have them planned on the next one to talk about the difference between misdemeanors and felonies. So tonight we're going to talk about what constitutes probable cause in Texas. All right, the importance of probable cause is hard to overstate, and yet most people don't know what constitutes probable cause in Texas. Although it has been invoked in virtually every arrest ever made and every search ever performed, the definition of probable cause remains intentionally vague. What does probable cause mean in Texas? Okay. Probable cause is a standard established by the Fourth Amendment that must be met in order for police officers to make an arrest. For such an important piece of due process, you might find it surprising that no Texas penal code provides a clear definition of probable cause. Instead, the standard for probable cause dictates that a law enforcement officer can make an arrest when they are confronted by facts or circumstances that will lead a reasonable individual to the conclusion that a crime either has been committed or is about to be committed. The difference between probable cause and reasonable suspicion in Texas is, upon a reasonable suspicion, is essentially the step that comes before probable cause. If a police officer thinks you are committing a crime, reasonable suspicion must be established to pull you over before they develop probable cause to arrest you. In other words, let's just say you just left a house that they had up under surveillance for serving or dealing narcotics. You just left the house in your car. And that didn't really look right when that guy ran up to your car and handed you something and you drove off without seeing that police officer around the corner. That's just reasonable suspicion right there that a crime had just taken place. Reasonable suspicion is about as vague and long as the definition of probable cause. But the U.S. Supreme Court has defined reasonable suspicion as the sort of common sense conclusion about human behavior upon which practical people are entitled to rely. This doesn't mean much, but they have also said that reasonable suspicion must be based on facts and amount to more than an articulated hunch. All right, examples of probable cause for DWI arrests. The above definition don't totally eliminate what police officers are looking for when they are making arrests, but we know what they're looking for. Some probable cause examples in DWI situations include, say for instance, if you're pulled over under suspicion of DWI, which is driving while intoxicated, and you fail a breathalyzer test, police officers will count this probable cause for arrest, although not all blood alcohol content tests hold up to scrutiny in court if you have a good attorney. A little bit of swerving or switching lanes is not probable cause for arrest, but reckless driving is. In other words, if you get out there and you're doing 100 miles an hour or you run 2 or 3 traffic lights and run over a dog, a little old lady and all of this, yeah, I got a reasonable probable cause to pull you over. Your behavior and physical appearance can count as probable cause. Let's talk a little bit about behavior after you're stopped on a traffic incident. The way you approach that police officer dictates, not upon a DWI situation now, but any other situation, it dictates as to the outcome of this traffic stop. Now, if you get out of your car and you're intoxicated somewhat and you're confused, you're slurring your speech or having trouble balancing, in other words, standing up on both feet and you're falling all over the place, You can bet the police officers will bring you in. If they administer field sobriety tests and you fail, you can expect the same regardless of whether you've been drinking. The officers will likely try to look inside your vehicle when they first approach. If there are any signs that drugs or alcohol have been anywhere near the car, they will run with it. If they see something they don't like, they will likely use it as probable cause for arrest. In other words, they see the butt end of a gun sitting between your legs or near the console or on a floorboard. Oh yeah, it'll be on then. But not before attempting to search your vehicle. Essentially, the less you give them, the better. Keep a clean car and utilize your right to remain silent, and they will have a much harder time building evidence. Something I have to bring out. A lot of times when a person is pulled over, that person becomes confrontational. In other words, I think I'm using the wrong word. They want to be, I meant argumentative. They want to argue about anything and everything. Let me explain something to you how this works. As we're talking about probable cause, there's a reason why you were stopped to begin with. You may have had a tail light out. You may have had a license plate light out. You may not have used your turn signal. You may have ventured across the little white line in the road. These are all reasons that police officer is justified to pull you over. Now, if you want to try to get yourself out of this situation, your attitude is going to kind of dictate that. I'm not talking about if you're drunk or not, but I'm just talking about any other traffic offense. Now, probable cause for searching cars and homes if the smell probable cause in the state of Texas. If they claim they smell drugs or alcohol, can a cop search your car? And the answer to that is smell is not sufficient probable cause for an arrest, but it is reasonable suspicion for questioning and for searching your car. Because marijuana is illegal in Texas, if a police officer claims that they smell marijuana, they can reasonably believe that a crime is being committed. They pull you over. You got your buddies in your car. He pulls you over for speeding or running a red light or something of that nature. You got your buddies in your car, and he walks up there and asks you to roll down your window, and lo and behold, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. All this aroma of smoke is flowing out of the car. Guess what's about to happen now? Everybody is going to jail. You think that's enough probable cause or reasonable suspicion? Oh, yes, it is. Very much so. What if the police officer wanted to search your home? The following are some reason that would justify the police searching your home. You give the officer consent to search your premises. The search is incident to law enforcement making a lawful arrest. There is an emergency situation that may affect another person's life within your home. They have a search warrant. The list is pretty short. If a police officer wants to search your home and you do not allow them, they will most likely either go away and return with a warrant. People don't want to seem like they are doing anything wrong and worry that denying a search will make them look guilty. But this is not the case. Denial of a search cannot be used to prove guilt in court. And if a police officer asks to search your home or vehicle, you should say no, unless they have a warrant. What happens if you were arrested without probable cause? Although police officers establish reasonable suspicion and probable cause to move forward in the arrest process, the judge actually has the final say in what constitutes probable cause in Texas. If you believe the arresting officers did not have sufficient evidence when making your arrest, the best thing that you can do is hire an attorney. Now, as I stated again, if you're pulled over in the streets, that is not the place to try your reasons for being pulled over, because all this is going to do is escalate to more charges if you get completely out of hand. And one of the major charges is resisting arrest. Now, you may have been pulled over on a stop sign, for running a stop sign, and the next thing you know, because of your attitude, you just got handcuffs put on you, and you're being arrested for resisting arrest. A minor misdemeanor traffic citation turned into maybe even a felony. You decided you wanted to kick or slug the officer that because you didn't agree with him. The streets is not the place to resolve this situation. DWI arrests need to be carried out with great attention to detail by law enforcement. There are many steps in the process that ensure your fair treatment that are often skirted because they don't expect anyone to know. If you want these slip-ups by law enforcement to come to light, you again need to hire an attorney. What constitutes probable cause in Texas? Up to a point the police decide, but ultimately it will be decided by a judge in court, in the court of law, and defended by your attorney. Okay, guys, this is going to somewhat conclude, just give you a brief summation as to the probable cause and some of the things that occur. As I said, our next topic that I want to discuss, depending on, if we can share this and get more people to subscribe and all of this good stuff, which, like I said, I'm really enjoying doing this because I kind of feel like it's making a point. But like I said, our next topic is going to be on felonies, the difference between felonies and misdemeanors. You're going to be somewhat shocked. Okay? Again, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So to help me do that, I need you to subscribe for it. Okay, you guys stay blessed and be encouraged. And thanks again for allowing me to pass on a little information.